do that. That's their issue. What I don't like is most of the motorcycle folks are nice people. But a lot of them, they say it's like Sodom and Gomorrah down at the convention center, you know, sex in the open, fights, everything else, and it's left alone because the cops are intimidated by a bigger gang. And it's mob psychology. That's why most militaries end up raping, killing, slaughtering women, children for fun. A lot of our military did in World War II. George Washington, there was almost none of it because he would hang you for the smallest infraction. That was one reason we ended up winning. The British were raping, killing, you know, burning down churches. Washington understood, he was also very moral, that was a big no-no, and that's how you lose the hearts and minds. So if you did anything like even grab on a woman, he just had a on-the-spot court-martial, and they strung you up. In fact, in military, historians will tell you, even foreign ones, that was one of the only militaries and periods where there was almost no massacres or rapes or lootings. Because George Washington would kill you if you did. It wasn't a debate about it. They would hang you or shoot you right there on the spot. And but this is mob psychology. And so I've been at a motorcycle rally just because I was at the South Padre Island area when one was going on, and I hadn't, and they were running around acting tough and bugging their eyes out and driving up with their motorcycles, acting like they were going to run into my kids. And I mean, again, I don't claim to be a tough guy, but you menace my 3-year-old. I mean, I'm ready to kill you. I mean, I'm going to break your neck, buddy. I mean, you're about to get assaulted, and I mean viciously. And I mean, because I'm normal, folks. I'm like a dog. You attack my puppy, I'm going after you. I mean, there's not a, I'm like a raccoon. I mean, I'm just normal. I'm still wired straight ahead. And I watch it's like police. That's why the average cop is nice. They've done studies. But they get them in black uniforms. They put a mask on them to take their anonymity. I mean, to give them anonymity. Mexico has it. Russia has it. They'll do horrible things when dressed up like Darth Vader, and at night, and let's go find somebody to beat up because we're all dressed up like this. And people do horrible things. That's why executioners wear a black mask to hide their identity. So you get all these motorcyclists in their outfits and all the different gangs and groups, and they're all there. And I take my children. My dad heard the story and was disturbed by it. I mean, I was just being honest about how I felt. I was going into, you know, absolute assault mode. And I'm walking with my 3 children to take them in to eat at a pizza place. They asked to go to the mall and eat the pizza place. And to go to the Lego store. And every few months I take them to do that. And we're going in, and I'm walking along the sidewalk, along the side of the mall, going into California Pizza Kitchen, and a guy all the way on the other side at the big entrance has his bike parked illegally up on the sidewalk. I was thinking, oh, that's a cool-looking bike. I like those style where the bars are straight, more that old-fashioned look. And he fires it up, and he looks down the sidewalk, and there's ramps where people walk up right by him. And he looks at me, and he sees my kids, and he revs it up and comes right at us. And I started pushing him aside and was thinking, okay, control yourself. Just push him up against the side of the wall. And I was just making the decision. I can't help it, though. I'm gonna jump on him, though. And then the split-second calculation's happening. You can get hurt. Then your kids are left at the mall. And so I'm right at that point of my computer, my brain, making the decision. And he cuts off and runs down an embankment 15 feet in front of me. And I just thought of what type of person sees a man with children and thinks that's a weak person and thinks someone with children is weak and not tough because I wasn't wearing black leather and strutting around, you know, all day, and then wants to menace somebody. I mean, it was just like, and it was very stressful because I had to go through, okay, this guy's looking right at me. He's rushing probably 50 miles an hour in a matter of seconds. Shoots past us and just roars down, almost hitting cars coming around the corner. I mean, this guy, and again, 4 of them, what is it, 4 I heard today? 4 people, 4 of these people died. One of them ran off an embankment down off a Mixmaster and fell 40 feet to their death. I mean, these are just crazy people. And my point is they'll risk their lives to run around acting tough in a big mob psychology gang, but they would not risk their lives to fight tyranny. And in a way, I thought, well, at least they're out there risking their lives and being wild. I mean, at least they're not totally domesticated. So I was having a love-hate relationship in my thought process about these people. And my dad, Sunday, we went to dinner with the kids, after the radio show. And he's like, I wish you wouldn't talk about killing people on air. And I was just being honest that I was going into kill mode. I mean, and people say, well, that's radical. That's bad. I mean, these people shouldn't be menacing children. I mean, in the old days, folks, you would have gotten, dealt with for that. And as he drove off, almost killed himself, I was going to yell something, and I just didn't because he was already gone. And I thought, well, that idiot will just kill himself. And I'm always seeing these signs about look for bikes, be nice to the motorcycles, be nice to the regular bike riders. And the bike riders are pulling out in front of you. The motorcycle people are pulling out in front of you. They drive through the middle of the lanes when you're in traffic, almost killing themselves. No, motorcycle riders need to get their act together. I mean, I'm tired of men bugging their eyes out at me. I'm tired. And the problem is so many times in my life, I'll go, okay, let's go ahead and have a fight then, punk. And then people back off. It's like, what did you want? You wanted to go ahead and start a fight with somebody? And then if they respond back, you back off because you weren't really looking for a fight. You were looking to act tough and have a fake victory over some coward. I mean, I just cannot believe how weak people are, how pathetic they are. I mean, if I ever got off on menacing children, I would never commit suicide, but I mean, I would go jump off a cliff. I mean, if I ever became someone who wanted to menace children and whoever wanted to have power over weak people and whoever wanted people at my mercy, I just don't understand it. I just cannot imagine people like that. I cannot even begin to understand it. But that's mob psychology. That's getting in a crazed mode. I mean, born in the Bilderbergs, I got in a crazed mode a few times. It felt really good. But I was in control of it. I knew that's what these instincts are for. It was meant to let them know we're aware of them, we're angry, we're upset with them. Word is Rockefeller didn't go, he's super ill. A bunch of big names didn't go. Bilderberg's almost dead politically. So big victory on that front. It's just that we're under such globalist assault. How do I get all these men that think it's manly to wear sports team hats and outfits? It's manly to ride a motorcycle. It's manly to stick their chest out at the swim meet and walk around with their big muscles. I mean, those big muscles are for defending women and children. They're not for strutting around acting tough like you're a rooster in a barnyard. Humans are supposed to be different. And the globalists, they are scientists. They study us like they're another species. They say that in their own words. And sit there punching our buttons. And absolutely gaming the 99% of people. I'm even gamed. I shouldn't be upset about Rand Paul and Ron Paul doing a political thing. They've been overall useful to liberty. You know, the fact that they've gotten so big and didn't use that to try to really keep having an effect, but kind of instead think they can take over the Republican Party, it's a miscalculation, but it doesn't matter. Compared to genetic engineering, world government, the drones, the police state, the checkpoints, it isn't about them. It shouldn't be about them. They could be killed, imprisoned, set up, destroyed. It's about an idea that all of us share for liberty that isn't going anywhere. So I handled the Ron Paul thing the way I handled it. It's not a mistake. It's not a victory. It's just, it's a process of working it out. I never even got to this. I'll get to it later if I have time, where people are told, grow up and realize we've got to be political. We got to where we are because we compromise. Got big TSA news, big drone news. I'm going to get into the TSA news when we come back. Then I'm getting into drone news. Then I'm getting in to carbon tax news. For a long time, you've heard me talk about building your own thing. I just want freedom. I know you want freedom. What do we do about it? How do we turn the tide against this total giant arms buildup takeover of our society by a bunch of criminals? This article is from Natural News. J.D. Hayes is up at Infowars.com. Congresswoman lashes out at TSA for hiring pedophiles and child pornographers. She first came out a few weeks ago. She's done it again. Never an agency that does much to clear its bad name and terrible reputation for hiring some of the worst dregs of society, all while failing regularly to live up to its purpose for existing. They're receiving fresh criticism from Tennessee Congresswoman over its hiring of pedophiles and child molesters. Yeah, every day or two I see articles about it. And an extremely critical report, Representative Marsha Blackburn, I want to get her on, by the way, guys, listed 50 crimes that have been committed by TSA agents. Well, there's a lot more than 50. Then it goes on, just at the Nashville airport, they get into all the things they've been doing. And the thing is, they target Congress people. Once they know you've criticized them, they try to hurt you physically. They go in, Miss USA's pants. I mean, this is going on. And we have a clip of a woman who'd just been grabbed on, freaking out, calling police, but police came after her. You're going to let people break the law, get out of their jurisdiction, they're not even police, do this to you, or you're going to go to jail. We're going to go in your pants. We're going to grab your breast. We're going to take your shirt off in front of people. We're going to take you in a back room and rip your colostomy bag off. Here it is, Daily Mail. She molested me. Somebody help me. Woman passenger cries for help at airport security after invasive search by female TSA agent. Yeah, what makes it okay that it's same sex? It's almost worse that it's men that want to touch on you. I mean, I don't care if you look like a supermodel. I don't want some woman I don't know touching on me. I've grown past college days where, just period, I was looking for women to date. I mean, it's a big deal. If I'm married, it's a big deal. This is for having children. This is not for you to get your jollies off on. In fact, let's go ahead and play some of this tape. Here it is, a familiar sound that we've learned to hear from these abusers.
I'm a police officer now. No, I'm a police officer.
Police officer? Nobody's going to help you, lady.
You just molested me.
Take a cancer shot. Drink some fluoride. Look at those TSA morons.
Somebody help me.
Nobody's going to help you, lady. Switchblade drones are coming. That's enough. I'm just glad that the Switchblade drones are coming and the Google admits they're NSA stealing your data codes illegally, and the banks admit they bring in the drugs and they run the narcotics, and they admit they want world government, and they admit in Europe they're setting up checkpoints to take your bank accounts. Good. To quote Han Solo, I'd rather a straight-on fight than all this sneaking around. Oh, man. I mean, you know what? Let's just get it out in the open. And coming up, another drone crashes, and they announce the Switchblades are coming. Little attack killer drones for you and your family. Paid for by you and your family. But the illegal aliens are above the law. We'll be right back. All right, Jesse Ventura is coming up in the next hour. We'll open the phones up coming up here in a little while as well. I need to get into transhumanism and a bunch of other articles I haven't broken down yet. We'll cover drones in the start of the next segment. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, I will get to this. I said I would yesterday, I never did. United Nations envisions transhumanist future where man is obsolete. We're going to play this video and critique it, and I'm going to break down each part of it as we go through it. And then later I'm going to put together a whole presentation out of this with clips from Endgame. But the UN says end of humanity as we know it. This is just the set plan, and they're going to wreck our genetics so bad we're going to have to go to government and corporations to even be able to have children, and then they'll be designer with back doors built into all of them. By the way, will you print me that Business Insider article about the Pentagon saying the Chinese government has had all their industries build back doors into all the tech we've bought from there? They didn't do that. They're part of the globalist program. That's agreed, standardized, so all the globalists have back doors into everything. And then re-pull me that article about Gattaca. Gattaca becomes reality, 3,500 traits, children to be killed for embryonically. If not, it's in last night's stack. I covered it on the nightly news last night. I just want to have that ready for the bottom of the hour. Incredible job. Actually, here is the Pentagon article. You did already have that ready for me. So we're going to be going over all of that at the bottom of the hour. Again, the magnitude of what's been announced in Associated Press, Financial Times of London, you name it. The criminal, unelected EU bureaucracy that's made itself exempt from taxation says movement of money, people can be limited. The checkpoints are to allow foreigners in, but slaves of Europe are not allowed to get out. And they've prepared currency controls, capital controls. Here in the U.S., the TSA and its armored pillboxes are to command that.